Hi, I'm Judy Hancock Holland. Thanks for joining me for this very quick tutorial. Often as photographers, we're asked for images with particular pixel dimensions. For example, the photo club I belong to asks for ebook submissions that fit within 1960 pixels wide by 1190 pixels tall. For digital competitions, the images must fit within a 1920 by 1080 pixel frame. So how do you export images to meet those specifications? And what if your image is a different aspect ratio? Or what if it's square or vertical rather than horizontal? It still needs to fit within that maximum size. This short video will show you how to meet the requirements for your submission and how to create a preset that you can use to make the process even easier. It's not difficult, but it's not entirely intuitive either. Let's start with a horizontal image that we want to fit within the required 1960 by 1090 dimensions. This particular image would have to be cropped to fit those dimensions exactly, but we don't want to do that, and it's not necessary. But we do need to check to make sure that our image is as large or larger than the pixel dimensions required. If the image has to be enlarged during the export process, the quality will be degraded, and that's not something we want. Once we've clicked on the image to select it, we can go to the File menu and scroll down to Export. Or we can hit the Export button on the lower left of the screen. I'm showing you this on my Mac, but it works the same way on Windows. That will take us to the Export window, where we need to tweak some settings. We can choose to rename the file, or we can choose to do that separately after export. We may also need to set the file settings. In this case, I've set the image format as TIFF, but you may be asked to use a JPEG format, which is another option in that drop-down menu. Usually you'll want to use an sRGB color space and a bit depth of 8 if your image will be shown on a screen rather than printed. For prints, you may want to use Adobe RGB and 16-bit. The next section we need to deal with is image sizing. Click the box next to Don't Enlarge, then choose Width and Height from the drop-down menu and set the specified pixel dimensions. In this case, a width of 1960 and a height of 1190. If the people requesting the image specified a resolution, enter it here as well, but if they didn't, don't worry about this setting at all. Below the image sizing box, you'll see a box for output sharpening. I generally use the drop-down menu to select whether it's to be displayed on a screen or printed on matte or glossy paper, and then set the amount to standard. Now that we have all these settings set, we can make an export preset so that the next time we submit to the same competition, for example, we don't have to go through those steps. To do that, we simply click the Add button, give the preset a meaningful name, and make sure it's set to save into the User Presets folder. Then click Create. Our new preset appears in the list of user presets. If you don't see it, click the little arrow, which we call a flippy triangle, to the left of the words User Presets to show all the presets you've saved. Click on the name of the preset you want to use, and then click the Export button at the bottom right of the window. I usually export to my desktop and then send the image on its way through email or a file transfer service, and then delete that exported copy. The original remains in my Lightroom catalog. We can check to make sure the pixel dimensions are correct. When I pull up the information about this file, I can see that the pixel dimensions are 1587 by 1190. It hasn't cropped or stretched my image, but it has made sure that it will fit within the dimensions specified for submissions. But what if our image isn't in landscape orientation? What if it's a square or a vertical shot? The preset we just created will work for those images too. Let's try that out with a tall, narrow, vertical image. Click on a square or vertical image to select it, and then either choose Export from the File menu or just click the Export button. Now all we have to do is apply the preset we already made. I right-click the name of the preset outside of this video and renamed it HCPC ebook TIFF, so I will remember which projects to use it for. Once that preset name is highlighted, then I just need to click Export at the lower right of the screen. It will apply all the parameters we set earlier when we made the preset. If we check the exported photo, we can see that it hasn't been cropped or distorted. The aspect ratio is as it was in the original file. When we look at the file information, we can see that the height of the exported image is 1190 pixels, exactly as we set it in the preset. And here's a bonus tip. We don't have to export one image at a time. We can select a bunch of different images, including square, vertical, and horizontal photos, as I've done here. Then it's as simple as going to the File menu, scrolling down to Export with Preset, and choosing the appropriate preset. Lightroom will ask you where you want the exported files to land, and you're done. Then you can email your images, making sure that your email program is set to send them at actual size, or use a file transfer service such as fromsmash.com to send them. I hope you found this quick tutorial helpful. For more tips and photography tutorials, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's linked from my website at jhhphoto.com.